This video is presented by EA Game Changers. I'd like to shout out EA for giving me the opportunity to capture some exclusive Madden 21 content for all of you savages. Let's get into the video. What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel, and we are here with some Madden 21 franchise exclusive information. As we go through today, you will be finding out every team's rookie's hidden dev trait. We're gonna go through every single team, look at the rookie draft class, find which ones had hidden dev traits and what those dev traits are. I'm sure there's gonna be plenty of star devs, maybe some superstar devs. I doubt there's an X factor, that probably would be known by now. So spoilers are ahead. If you want to hop into your franchise mode and experience naturally finding out what your players' dev traits are, hop off now. Go check out one of my other Madden 21 videos that have been dropped over the last 24, 48 hours and support the channel. But if you are interested in seeing what the 2020 rookie draft class looks like as far as their launch hidden dev traits, look no further than this video. So what I did was I hopped into Madden 21 franchise. We just simmed to the end of the 2020 season. As at the end of the season, everyone's dev trait is unveiled, and we're gonna go roster by roster to find out each rookie's dev trait. So we'll just keep it simple, go in alphabetical order. We'll be starting with the Chicago Bears, who have their two prized draft picks from the 2020 draft here. First up, Jalen Johnson, the corner of Utah. Now, don't look at the base overall because I simmed to the end of the season. This video is strictly for the dev traits, and Jalen Johnson had a hidden dev trait, which turned out to be a star. That's a great dev trait for him. And they also got Cole Kmet out of Notre Dame. Could be the best tight end from that 2020 draft class. Also lucked out with a hidden dev trait, which is star. So that's two very nice young players to grow and build if you so choose the Chicago Bears as your Madden 21 franchise. Cincinnati, they have T. Higgins, who some people thought would be maybe a first-round wide receiver. And he actually, unfortunately, only has a normal dev, but there is one man that everyone wants to know with Cincinnati, and that is the #1 overall pick in the draft, Joe Burrow out of LSU. And as you can see there, superstar dev trait for Mr. Joe Burrow. That is in comparison to, say, Kyler Murray last year, who only had a star dev. So by comparison, Joe Burrow getting that superstar ability, looking clean with the face scan, that's huge, man. He is truly in this new era of the new Madden ratings and have dev traits and abilities and all that stuff. He is truly the most overpowered rookie quarterback we have seen in this very small window of Madden rating. Bills fans, I'm sorry. You know, your first round pick essentially was Stephon Diggs. Looking at your draft class, you got, solid draft. Ebenezer, just normal dev. Gabriel Davis, normal dev. We got Zach Moss of the Utah, big fan. He's just a normal dev from, obviously a little bit on the lower end, maybe more so name value than how good he's actually going to be, but he's just a normal dev as well. So nothing, off the charts if you're a Bills fan. Sorry, Bills Mafia. Just jump through a table, you'll get over it. The Denver Broncos up next. Real good draft class, and really the cream of the crop's right there. KJ Hamler, speedster out of Penn State with a normal dev. We have Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver at Alabama, getting a superstar, our second superstar to pair with Mr. Joe Burrow. I definitely think that is deserved. Nitain Muti, the guard from Fresno State, also got a dev trait, real good value pick. Would have been a much higher selection if he didn't have injury concerns. Albert O killed the combine. Fortunately, only stuck there on a normal dev trait, but still super overpowered. 6'5", 260, 88 speed, 91 acceleration. Fill your boots. For the Cleveland Browns, getting Grant Delpit where they did in the second round was insane value. And he has a star dev. I thought he was the best safety in the draft class. Still no idea how he slipped, but you're getting a star dev there. I think he's going to be super overpowered. Then you also have their new blindside protector for Baker Mayfield in Jedrick Wills Jr. out of Alabama, also pulling a star dev. Tampa Bay, I think they're going to be a popular team this year for obvious reasons. More so if you're a casual fan. Tom Brady, Gronk, all that things combined. A lot of people are going to play in Tampa. Solid young rookies. We got Tristan Wirfs here. 77, got that star dev, so that's real good for him to help his development. We have Tyler Johnson, who actually developed nice as a rookie, but he's a normal dev. But the other big pick, Antoine Winfield Jr. out of Minnesota, another hidden dev rookie that is chilling with that star dev. I think much like Grant Delpit, there's going to be two safeties that 2-3 years into your franchise modes, they're going to be regarded as the best in their position, or at least, top 10, top 5, somewhere in that range. Only one hidden dev rookie on Arizona, even though you're throwing them some solid rookie talent. Benjamin, Lecky Fotu, Josh Jones at tackle, but the big name is Isaiah Simmons. I don't know if you're going to play him at safety. I don't know if you're going to play him at linebacker, but he is our third superstar dev player on the list. Freak of friggin' nature. This guy's an absolute animal. I can only imagine what this guy would do if you moved him to linebacker and made him a user LB. He is insanity. Maybe the scariest athlete we've seen 5 years, 10 years. I don't even know if there's anyone even comparable to him. But Isaiah Simmons, an absolute beast and a very much well-deserved superstar dev trade at launch. Chargers are up next. We will start here with Kenneth Murray. Don't get it twisted. It's only a star dev. Some of these players, because I did have to sim to the end of the season, they will have gone up dev trade based upon their performance and so on and so forth. But Kenneth Murray, as a hated dev, is a star. But good to know that in your franchise, usually 1 year, gives you an idea of, generally speaking, what players are going to develop and catch on and get those upgrades fairly consistently. So knowing Kenneth Murray is going to be one of those guys, gets a tackle machine and goes up dev trade on the defense side of the ball. I think Chargers low-key would be a pretty fun franchise to play in Madden 21. But Kenneth Murray is a star dev. And another star dev, might be a little disappointing to see, is also Justin Herbert. Hopefully a franchise quarterback. Look and go with the flow there. Look at that haircut. Star dev. Field general, 6'6". I think one of the... If I'm looking at a quarterback that I would want to play with out of all the rookie classes, Herbert, Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa, Jordan Love, I might be picking Herbert out of all of them. Which one would be the funnest to use in a Madden franchise? For my money right now, it's a toss-up between Herbert and Tua. Your defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. We got Willie Gay. I think he is, and we've already kind of talked about him from a skill standpoint, a very, very juiced up rookie, but he is only on a normal dev. But the big first round selection, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, being billed as Brian Westbrook 2.0 by Andy Reid himself. He's, get that hidden dev. Star dev, I wasn't expecting anything more crazy than that. Star dev is fair, but he's going to be a really, really good running back. Especially at 22, he's already almost an 80 overall, and that'll be probably fairly consistent with most franchises. He's going to be one of the best running backs. Give him another 2 years or so. One of the best. He'll be 90 plus, I think, for sure. The Colts are another team, I think, low-key, probably going to be a pretty fun rebuild in franchise use in Madden 21. We got Blackman there, developed nicely. Eason, who I think is going to be one of the better, lower-rated quarterbacks to start out in franchise mode. He only got that normal dev. But the big two here, we got Michael Pittman Jr. out of USC. He's hidden dev, which is a star. And then we also have Jonathan Taylor, the running back out of Wisconsin. Going to be interested to see how that Colts running back room kind of breaks up between Jonathan Taylor, Naheem Hines, and Marlon Mack. But Jonathan Taylor going forward, long term, and again, another guy, much like Clyde Edwards-Helaire on the Kansas City Chiefs, I think are going to be, one of the big names in the league 2-3 years in. 76 with a star dev. You're chipping in 93 speed, 92 acceleration, almost 230 pounds. He's pretty much, he's Nick Chubb. He's Nick Chubb 2.0. And I think this, with Pittman and just a lot of interesting other rookies that they have, Colts, real low-key franchise that'd be really fun to use in Madden 21. Always going to be the painful part of the video. Dallas, who I thought had a really good draft class. The rookies, they didn't get too much clout in terms of their dev trades. Neville Gallimore could have had a star. He only got a normal. We got Trayvon Diggs. He could have had a dev trade. He only has a normal. Bidash, many people regard him as a top center. He only got a normal, but as you can see right from the rip, CeeDee Lamb, kind of surprising he fell to Dallas in the draft. Another superstar dev rookie. Deserves it? Yeah, as much as it pays me to say, definitely deserves to be in that category because he, debatably, it's really anyone's guess who actually is going to be the best wide receiver from this class out of the big names, out of the Jerry Judys, Henry Ruggs, CeeDee Lamb. So I think it's fair to get at least 2 for 2 so far. We got to wait to see what Ruggs got. But between Lamb and Jerry Jeudy both getting superstar devs, don't got a problem with that. Very well deserved. Great Miami. Looking at the Dolphins, who had 3 first-round picks. They got Noah Igbinoghene from Auburn, normal dev. Austin Jackson at a USC, kind of a surprise first-rounder. He was bubble, normal dev. You got Brandon Jones, looks like he developed nicely. You got Raekwon Davis, who looks like he developed nicely just from the sim. And the big one is Tua Tagovailoa, with only a star dev, so matching the same kind of tier, if you will, as Justin Herbert, as Joe Burrow clearly stands above the rest with that superstar dev. I mean, I'm not shocked. I wouldn't be surprised if Tua got a superstar. Star, I don't know if it's too harsh or not, but yeah, Tua's a star. Feel free to leave your true thoughts and feelings on that, Dolphin fans, in the comment section below. For Philly, I thought we probably only had 2 players that might have had a chance at a dev trade. First was Jalen Hurts. Still, I don't know if I'll ever be able to defend this pick, make sense of this pick. But I mean, however they find a way to use him, I hope Jalen Hurts is amazing. I hope he's the best player he possibly could be in Philly. But he did just get a normal dev, but he got a face scan, which is pretty cool. And our big rookie was Jalen Reagor. I actually thought for a sec there was a chance he was just going to be normal dev. They gave him a star dev. Starts out with a hidden dev. I think that's kind of generous. You all know my thoughts and feelings about this pick when it happened, given the draft board. But I think that's really good for Philly and Jalen Reagor, a team that needs to get that long-term stability at wide receiver. Guy like Jalen Reagor, a guy you can build around for a decade or so. Atlanta had a pretty solid draft, I think. Maybe a little bit of a surprise getting A.J. Terrell in the first round. You're not going to be happy to see he did not get a hidden dev trade. He's chilling right there as a normal. We got Marlon Davidson out of Auburn. You got at least one hidden dev for those new jerseys. Look very clean, but Marlon Davidson, hidden dev, develops into a star right out the gate. You got Matt Hennessy, a guy another in that conversation, like Bidash on the Dallas Cowboys for maybe the best center in the class. He got normal dev. So, I mean, you got some solid rookies, and at least with Marlon Davidson, you didn't just get a bunch of normal devs. San Francisco had 2 first-round picks in 2020. Let's see how they turned out. We have Javon Kinlaw, got a star dev, the D tackle from South Carolina, coming in, hopefully to be the immediate replacement for DeForest Buckner, who they traded to the Colts for a first-round pick. They also got Brandon Ayuk out of Arizona State, and he is pulling in a star dev as well, pretty much on par. More so maybe with like Jalen Reagor in terms of tier of wide receiver, especially when you're talking about those first-round type guys. You know, I firmly believe, like we were just kind of saying with the superstars, CeeDee Lamb, Henry Ruggs, you know, Jerry Jeudy, that was tier 1, and then the next tier would be, you know, the Ayuks, the Jalen Reagors, the Denzel Mims and stuff, Michael Pittmans of the draft. So it's good to see there's some consistency there, and Ayuk with a star dev is totally fair. New York Giants got Andrew Thomas in the first round, and he is pulling a star dev. I thought that was, as much as it pains me to tap the Giants on the back and Dave Gettle on the back, I thought Andrew Thomas was the best pick, the right pick, and getting a star dev should be a great starting spot for him. They also got Xavier McKinney, the safety out of Alabama. He is hidden dev. He does turn out to be a star, which is a great piece on the defense as you're trying to pretty much essentially still replace a player with the upside, the ceiling, and just the base caliber of Jabril Peppers. As far as rookies go for the Jacksonville Jaguars, kind of had the big 3. They got Laviska Shenault, who I think is just a total utility player. I wouldn't strictly classify him as a wide receiver. He has a hidden dev, which turns out to be a star. They got Caleb Chaisson, edge rusher from LSU. Kind of surprised to see him at normal. I thought for sure he would be a guy that's in that caliber, in that reputation as a rookie with a hidden dev, but he's only a normal, but they made up with that with C.J. Henderson out of DBU. I can't really almost, you know, it's still hard to say that. It hasn't been great over the last couple of years, but they're in the conversation, all right, Florida Gators. He got a superstar dev. That is, I'm not going to say surprising, but it's kind of surprising. C.J. Henderson, superstar dev. How do you feel about that one? Let me know in the comment section. Be interested to see what did they give Jeff Okudah on our, that's our Madden 21 franchise, on our Detroit Lions. But Henderson getting the superstar makes me feel pretty good about Jeff Okudah's dev trade. The Jets were another team that had a really solid draft, got some great young talent. Shout out to Joe Douglas. Mekhi Becton is a superstar dev, capitalizing on that elite athletic ability. Maybe like C.J. Henderson, a little surprising to see him get a superstar dev. At least when we're talking about tackles, push comes to shove, maybe this is my own personal opinion, I would have given Andrew Thomas the superstar dev and Becton the star, but to each their own. They got Bryce Hall. Braden Mann, the punter, got a star dev, hidden dev. Makes sense. He was pretty much an all-world punter in college. And Denzel Mims, who I went from being maybe his biggest fan, a homer for like multiple years at Baylor, 2-3 years at Baylor. Then he kind of just crapped all over the Philadelphia Eagles. Things went a little sour. So I'm a little bit fine. I'm okay. I would have maybe been frustrated if I was still a pure out-and-out Denzel Mims homer. The fact that he said some bad things about Philly, him getting that normal dev, I'm not even going to argue that. Fine. All right, Detroit was looking forward to this. Jeff Okudah, much like, if they're giving C.J. Henderson a superstar dev, there's no way you're not giving Jeff Okudah a superstar dev as well. So that is awesome to see. I can't wait. Absolutely cannot wait to get into that Lions franchise mode. We got DeAndre Swift in that conversation for best running back from the 2020 draft, along with Jonathan Taylor, Edwards-Helaire, just named, the two that we've already seen. And he got a star dev. So I think that's fair. That's on par with Jonathan Taylor, who had a dev trait, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who had a dev trait. And that's pretty nice to see. Julian Okwara, another young rookie, I think it's going to be fun to use. He just got a normal dev. Cephas could be a chance to be the successor to Danny Amendola in the slot for us here in Detroit. He's also with a normal dev. Next up is the Green Bay Packers. Kind of got memed on for their draft class. Wasn't the best. We'll put it at that. The two big names you would argue are A.J. Dillon, who got the normal dev, the power back out of Boston College, and then Jordan Love, the man brought in to be the assumed heir to Aaron Rodgers when all is said and done. And Jordan Love got a normal dev trait. I think this may be the first normal that I'm disagreeing with. I think he's at least in that bubble of, the Justin Herberts, Tua, I think he should have got, hidden dev, star dev, somewhere in that territory. Normal dev, gotta be a little bit more difficult for Jordan Love to be the rightful heir for Aaron Rodgers if he's starting right there on the old ugly bronze dev trait. Maybe a little harsh. How do you feel about Jordan Love? Should he have gotten a hidden dev? Let me know in the comments. New regime in Carolina, the Matt Rule era. They have plenty of fun young players at their disposal. Kenny Robinson. We got Derek Brown, as you can see right at the rip. Hidden dev. Got that superstar dev trait. I think rightfully so. One of the safest players in the draft. And you can definitely tell the comparison from the Madden 20 rookies to the Madden 21 rookies. A lot more superstar dev traits than what we got. I don't even know. Did we even get one last year? I don't even think. At least from launch ratings, I don't think we had one superstar dev rookie from last year's draft class. And we've had a couple here already. Derek Brown there. We got Troy Pride has a chance to have a dev. Maybe Jeremy Chin has a normal dev. Yetur Gross-Matos from Penn State got himself a hidden dev star. There we go. That's a real fun team. There's a reason why Carolina was on that bubble for our Madden 21 franchise, and these young talent, makes it a little bit tougher to be like, nah, I didn't want to do them. Because Derek Brown, Chin, Gross-Matos, these are your guys that, especially Gross-Matos and Derek Brown, again, you view it in that bubble, 3-4 year bubble. Where are they really going to be in regards to the rest of their position? I think you get Derek Brown. He's going to be in the 90s, and a legit shot. Gross-Matos gets up high 80s, low 90s. Maybe a little bit of a weird draft class for the Patriots. Wasn't the greatest. They got Kyle Duggar, who might be the best of the bunch. He is just chilling with a normal dev. Outside of that, I mean, we got Ossie, tight end, normal dev. Anfernee Jennings, outside linebacker, normal dev. Keen, another guy that, might have a chance at starting. Who knows who's going to actually be their tight end. Is that a face scan, though? Did he get a face scan? If so, nice. Josh Uche got a dev trait, but he earned it from the season. He starts as a normal dev. I thought, actually, out of all the draft class, Uche or Duggar might have got that hidden dev from launch from the New England Patriots. But no, not one. Not one hidden dev rookie for New England. Sorry, Patriot fan. The Raiders are up next. They had a pretty solid haul, if all things considered, for the 2020 draft. Damon Arnett, probably their most suspect pick of the bunch, is only coming in with a normal dev. You have Tanner Muse, who's going to be really, really fun to use in your franchises as a user linebacker. He has a normal dev, but I believe that was a face scan. Lynn Bowden, another pretty fun player, ultimate utility player with a normal dev. Amik Robinson, one of my favorite corners, coming in normal dev. Brian Edwards, who I thought was maybe the best value wide receiver. Didn't know what round did they get him? Third, fourth round, somewhere in that range. He's just a normal dev. But the big one is Henry Ruggs, the speedster out of Alabama, and yet another superstar dev rookie here in Madden 21. Rightfully so. I mean, it's on par with the CeeDee Lamb, with the Jerry Jeudy, and rightfully so. Henry Ruggs is going to be an absolute beast. And much like Hollywood Brown last year, he's got to be super overpowered. The Rams actually might have had like one of the best draft classes, according to Madden. Terrell Lewis, normal dev, but here I'm looking at the top. They got Cam Akers, running back out of Florida State. He's pulling in a star dev, which is not ridiculous considering, where some of the second round running backs got for their dev traits. And then you got Terrell Burgess, another hidden dev, the safety out of Utah. I thought for sure he would have been normal dev and then just earned it from the sim. You got defensive rookie of the year, made the Pro Bowl, but not one dev trait from one of those. So he straight up starts hidden dev. That is insane value for a draft class. That was, at least at face value, at name value, just a solid draft for the Rams. But pulling two hidden dev rookies, that's Luck of the draw, real good. The Ravens and having a good draft, it's pretty much automatic. I will say I'm a little upset that James Prochet, a legend here on the channel, did not get a dev trait, but I guess it is what it is. Outside of that though, I mean, Justin Madubuike, still a solid rookie even with the normal dev. Devin Duvernay, still a really solid rookie. He's actually pulling in a star dev. What? Hidden dev trait for Duvernay out of Texas. Maybe a little generous, but that's pretty sick. We got a Malik Harrison out of Ohio State with a normal dev. We got J.K. Dobbins, the rookie out of Ohio State, with a star dev again, on par with the Cam Akers, Jonathan Taylor, second round running back. And then we got Patrick Queen, the linebacker out of LSU, pulling in a star dev. He was defensive rookie here in this sim. So, I mean, again, you can see with Kenneth Murray, linebackers, they're going to be tackle machines. They're going to develop very, very quickly. And Patrick Queen has a chance to maybe, just maybe, be the next Ray Lewis for that Baltimore Ravens defense, even though they're completely different style of linebacker. Now for the football team, Washington football team. Solid draft class as well. Antonio Gibson, going to be a fun player. Weapon type player. He has a normal dev. Gandy Golden, I thought that was good value pick there. He's normal dev. But there's the big one. Chase Young, superstar X Factor, getting Fearmonger. Didn't think that was anywhere in the X Factor notes, unless I missed it. But Chase Young, superstar X Factor, playmaker for the Washington football team. Our first, making history, much like Joe Burrow, pretty much setting the new standard for first overall pick rookie quarterbacks in this new generation of abilities and stuff in Madden. Chase Young, first superstar X Factor rookie. I think that's definitely the direction they want to go. It didn't make sense in Madden 20, at least at launch, not having, they didn't have any superstars, no X Factors, because in your random generated draft classes that you play and get throughout your Madden franchise, you can find those players. So, I mean, we should have those kind of applied to real life. Why kind of restrict those guys? If they truly are deserving of a superstar ability or a superstar X Factor ability right off the bat, they should get one, and Chase Young is definitely in that tier. There you go. Superstar X Factor, Chase Young. The big rookies for the New Orleans Saints. They got Zach Bond out of Wisconsin. He is just a normal dev. Troutman, solid tight end. Again, kind of a crapshoot for tight ends from the 2020 draft. Who's going to actually be the best of the bunch when all is said and done? But I definitely think Troutman should be in that conversation. And their big pick was Cesar Ruiz, guard from Michigan. And he actually pulled a hidden dev trait, star dev trait for him. So that's, well deserved. Makes sense. Congrats. It wouldn't be the draft without Seattle just having a completely off the board, they picked that guy in the first round type draft. So I'm not going to be shocked that they don't get any dev traits. Darrell Taylor at a Tennessee edge rusher. He's chilling just with a normal. And their big selection was Jordan Brooks, the linebacker from Texas Tech. And at the surprise of no one, he's just a normal, no hidden dev rookies for Seattle. Maybe that's why they were, pretty open to trading some of those high round picks for Jamal Adams. Taking a look at Pittsburgh, another team, just from knowing their draft class, wouldn't be shocked if they didn't get a hidden dev trade in there. They got the Canadian Chase Claypool. He's chilling with a normal dev, even though he's going to be a very fun player to use in franchise. 6'4", 240 with 92 speed. Just have fun developing that. Brooks, maybe. I don't think we're going to be talking about dev traits with Pittsburgh, but still a nice batch of young players to grow and develop in your Steeler franchise. Houston Texans on the clock. Another team maybe might not be dealing with dev traits. John Grenard out of Florida did not get one. We got Ross Blacklock out of TCU. He is also another player just on a normal dev. I'm trying to think, is there someone else now? Yeah, just, have fun. Texans are going to be straight up. I mean, it's weird. They don't. When you talk about Houston, you think they're going to be a prime candidate for like a big rebuild with Hopkins and all that stuff going down. But in reality, I mean, they still have a pretty stacked roster. But, not the best rookie class. We'll just leave it at that. Tennessee Titans are up. They got Darrington Evans, good young player, good compliment to Derrick Henry. He's just there with a normal dev. Cole McDonald, who I think will be the funnest young quarterback to use. If you're just trying to just do some sort of ridiculous franchise mode. He's there with a normal dev. Christian Fulton, who is considered a first-round caliber corner, slipped to the second round. He's also a normal dev. And Isaiah Wilson, kind of maybe a surprise first-round selection, also getting a normal dev. So no hidden dev rookies for Tennessee. And our final team, the Minnesota Vikings, will start with one of their 2 first-round picks in Jeff Gladney out of TCU, and he is a normal dev. Maybe slightly harsh. I think they could have given Gladney a hidden dev, star dev, somewhere in that range. I don't think there are going to be any surprise ones here. Troy Dye. I mean, a real good draft. one of the better drafting teams in the NFL for sure is the Vikings. We got Ezra Cleveland. He could have had a dev. Nope. He's sitting there on a normal. We got Danzler sitting there on a normal. The big one is Justin Jefferson with that star dev, rightfully so. Again, in that secondary tier with the Brandon Ayuks, the Jalen Ragers, the Denzel Mims, and he rightfully so got that hidden dev, and it turns out to be a star. So there you go, fellas. That is your Madden 21 rookie dev trait video, going through all of the hidden devs. Lot more superstars, and our first superstar X Factor for a rookie player in Chase Young. How do you guys feel about it? Especially for each one of your individual teams. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of discussion about who was deserving, who's overrated, who got underrated, who got slept on. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section below. I think generally did a pretty good job, really good job. There's nothing that's too egregious. And we got, you know, the best rookie quarterback we've ever seen in Joe Burrow. And we have our first superstar X Factor in Chase Young. So that does it for me today, guys. As always, smash that like button. 1,000 likes on this video would be awesome. Helps out in the old YouTube algorithm. If it's your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. We're on our way to 150,000. Would be cool if we could hit that sooner than later. Thanks for watching. More Madden 21 content coming on the way. And until next time, it's C4 saying peace